Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Madden 5. After the last video I did, people are like, and it's, the people who were watching me years ago, and I'm glad that you guys had stuck around. That actually makes me feel pretty good. I was never a kind of guy that was popular. I didn't have the best opinions, according to some people, and that's fine. Hey, people are going to like you, they're not going to like you. That's going to happen. So, anyway, um, I figured what I would do is kind of what I did in the old days. I said before I'm not really drinking like I used to, but I do on occasion, and I just wanted to do a good old fashioned rant like I used to. This kind of shooting from the hip, like I used to do. No edits, anything like that. Kind of harkening back to my early days of YouTube, back before I was doing editing. Maybe I'll get back into that eventually, but I doubt it. It takes too much time. But anyway, so um one of the last videos I did before I took my long hiatus was a video about how the America under Trump really sucked. And it did. Those of you who were really paying attention to things, you really notice how the government had just gotten worse and worse and worse. And what pisses me off is I'll talk to people now. Like, I work with a girl, she's a bit younger than me, about a little less than 10 years. I think she's like 30 years old now. Um, we got to talk about Trump. She's like, isn't it funny? I'm like, no, that wasn't funny. This isn't a game. This is the country. This is literally like very serious stuff. We should not be just like, oh, yeah, he said funny things. That's not what the presidency is. Okay. I'm sorry. That's not good. It's fucked up, is what it is. And just, I mean, 4 years, two of which we had Trump as president and a Republican Congress, and what was accomplished? Nothing. Nothing good. And this is one thing, I'll talk to these boomers, these people who and not just boomers. I mean, there are people in my age group who, like, they love Trump. They give a shit about Trump. Like, he's going to like them, which blows my mind. Like, that is one thing that completely throws me off when I hear people talk about their candidates like, hey, they're like me. That's one thing I always heard about George W. Bush. I feel like I could have a beer with him. To which I'm like, George W. Bush is a recovering alcoholic. You think he's going to have a beer with you? Not really going to happen. Trump, it's a similar situation, but like, Trump doesn't like poor people. I don't know where this whole thing, like, he's like us. No, he's not. He grew up with a platinum spoon in his mouth. He does not give a fuck about poor people. I know he tries to act like, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to struggle. Really? Do you? I mean, maybe unless it's like now because, he can't pay his taxes. I mean, and for a guy that he is supposedly a multi-billionaire, he sure as hell doesn't eat like one. One funny thing about this is my brother brought up a good point. My brother loves bagel bites. He absolutely loves them. And he was like, look, I love them, but if I were a multi-billionaire, I would never eat bagel bites for the rest of my life. I would be eating all kinds of other stuff, exploring things, trying new things all the time, trying new cultures, doing all these different things. And Donald Trump is like raving about a quarter pounder with cheese. And the one that blows my mind the most, because I mean, hey, maybe you just want a cheeseburger. Sometimes people, they're just like, I just want a good old fashioned cheeseburger. Give me a McDonald's or Burger King, whatever. Even millionaires and billionaires feel that way. Sure. But the thing that blew my mind, and I'm a vegan, by the way, and I haven't eaten meat since 2009. How does Donald Trump like his steak? Well done with ketchup. Well done. Even though, no, the experts say at most medium, should be getting it medium rare. That's the best way to cook a steak. And with the sauce, no A1, no like mushroom sauce, no like garlic butter, no ketchup. Really? What are you for? Come on. blows my mind. But anyway, so we went through all this time with Trump, and again, nothing was accomplished. All of his promises, because he made all these promises, and what fucks me up is that people hold Obama and Biden to account. He said he was going to do all this. He said, okay, well, did he try? Well, he did, but he didn't accomplish it. Okay, well, Trump could have accomplished it. What did he accomplish? I mean, the whole healthcare thing. Remember when he said, oh, he had a plan that was going to cover all Americans for a fraction of what we're paying now. It was always just, a few weeks away. It was just 2 months away. What did we get? Well, 2 plans from Congress, neither of which would cover all Americans. And, of course, they always threw in, tax cuts for the rich because, why not? Because that's going to do something. And it would have kicked millions off of their health care. But hey, that's a victory for the American people. That's what Trump always gets. It's a victory. Okay, a victory. How? It passed one house. It didn't pass the other one. Then that other house had their own, didn't pass the other house. So what was accomplished here? The economy was okay, but that's because of Obama. Trump, contrary to what he wanted to say, the economy that he was handed was decent. He's I inherited a mess. Bullshit. You inherited a pretty decent economy. Especially considering the fact that George W. Bush handed Obama a really shitty economy, the worst since the Great Recession. I mean, not the Great Recession, the Great Depression. Sorry, not the Great Recession. But anyway. And yeah, but he wants to take all of the credit for that. But then again, that's what he always does. If it's good, it's him. If it's bad, he had nothing to do with it. And that's how he's been his entire life. But then, after he lost in 2020, first off, in 2016, my wife and I, we were fucking stunned. And what really pissed me off about that election was the fact that so many liberals sat that out. Not just the presidential part, the whole thing. I was begging some of my liberal friends, just please vote for Hillary. I know she's not your first choice. She wasn't my first choice. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary. But then again, I voted for, who did I vote for in 2003? Wesley Clark. Supported him. I supported John Edwards. None of my candidates ever got the nomination. But that's okay. I ultimately voted for whoever got the nomination. But so many of my liberal friends, who in 2020, by the way, were all, we have to vote for Joe Biden. That's funny. Didn't I tell you that same thing and you didn't listen? You didn't believe that Donald Trump could win and that the Republicans could take both houses of Congress. Even though I begged you and I pleaded, I'm like, look, the Republicans will win if we just sit this out. Anyway, my wife and I, we were just like, are you fucking kidding me? We both got drunk that night. Went into work the next day hungover. But then in 2020, when Biden won, we're like, all right, cool. Then January 6th happened, and we're just like, this shit's never going to stop, is it? This asshole, this spoiled brat. And that's the thing that blows my mind about Republicans, because just a few years ago, they're like, oh, these spoiled kids today, these millennials, even though they're not talking about millennials, they're talking about Gen Z kids, even though Gen Z kids, I mean, they're actually they seem like they know what the fuck they're doing. They're actually getting things accomplished. They can't accept that someone has said no. But then Donald Trump does it. Well, no, it was stolen. Was it? You have no evidence for that. And I'm flabbergasted that there are still people who think, oh yeah, the election was stolen. It was stolen. A bunch of people for January 6th were convicted. They, have their little tearful speeches about how I was misled, even though I guarantee you that's just, to reduce their sentence. But how are there still people that support this? Hell, and you see it now. You see these MAGA Republicans who, they don't care about actually governing. It's not about that. It's about chaos. They don't care about actually doing things that help people. No, it's about disrupting the whole system. They hate the system. You know, that whole the government's the problem, that Reagan thing, that's a self fulfilling prophecy. And that's what pisses me off. Like, okay, if you hate government, why do you want to do it? This to me is like those people who hated Microsoft and they bought Microsoft products. Like, okay, if you don't like it, you don't have to do this. You don't have to engage in this. You don't have to work for them or buy from them. You can just do your own thing. Oh, well, that's different. No, it's not. But, you know, like, hey, the Republicans, you know, because I remember recently, you know, it was like the red wave, we're going to take our country back. Well, they didn't get the Senate. You know, it's still pretty close, but regardless, and then, you know, Kirsten Sinema, who's probably the biggest disappointment ever. I have no idea why we thought like she was actually going to be different, but well, maybe it's because her past. You know, she started with the Green Party and she was doing, you know, some stuff that actually made her seem like she was okay. But anyway, so you know, the House, you know, Republicans, they barely won. Kevin McCarthy barely got the speakership, and now who are they blaming? The Democrats, because they didn't come to save Kevin McCarthy. Which, why the hell would they? You know, it's not like the guy was willing to work with them and like, hey guys, let's actually pass some laws that help people. Let's try to work together a little bit. We're going to disagree on a lot of things. Hey, let's hammer some things out. Let's try to help people. No, everything was, oh, it's the Democrats. Fuck them. Like, they suck. They're the ones getting in the way. Republicans are the ones we're really actually trying to work. And then he wants their help. And then Republicans are, oh, well, no, it's the Democrat. Well, they're the ones that voted, you know, the majority to vacate. Yeah, but they didn't bring the motion, did they? No. And why would they save him? In fact, Trey Crowder, Trey Crowder? Again, that anyway, a comedian I watched, he was like, that's like the Westboro Baptist Church burning down their own church and then like standing outside like, well, why are the gays putting this out? Yeah, why would they? Yeah, why would they help you? Like, it's not like you were cool to them. You shat on them the whole time. But this is what we get. This is, and this is what like pisses me off. Like, we tried this experiment, okay? And I'm not going to blame people like, you know what? Trump is different. He's a bit abrasive. He's an asshole. But hey, you know what? Let's give it a go. And then you wait for a little while and you're like, okay, yeah, this guy's bad. In fact, like when he announced his candidacy in 2016, I was like, all right, well, let's hear what he has to say. I don't know. I mean, I just know him from like what New Yorkers tell me. They hate him. The Apprentice, he's a blowhard. But let's hear what he has to say. Maybe this was all a character. And then he just starts in and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he's bigoted. Hates women. He hates minorities. Hates foreigners. Okay, well, yeah, this guy sucks. We can't have him. He's absolutely fucking atrocious. But hey, he won. And the people that supported him, like, we're taking our country back. Okay, well, what did he accomplish for you? Seriously, I mean, unless you're rich, because, you know, of course, you know, they cut taxes for the rich, even though Trump said he wasn't going to. And, I mean, the people that love the guy, and you bring up, he didn't accomplish anything. I have a whole list of things I can bring up that he didn't accomplish, that he said he would. And not just that. This guy actually said, like, you know, we've accomplished more than any other administration in history. It's like, oh, okay, well, clearly you don't know a lot about history. Because, I mean, FDR comes to mind. Bill Clinton, he really transformed the country. I mean, I know it's like neoliberal shit, but still, he accomplished some shit. The 90s were probably the last great decade this country had. But, you know, and how did this happen? Well, I mean, the boomers. I don't know why boomers just decided, you know what, I got mine, fuck everyone else. But that's the attitude that so many of them have. And then they hate younger generations. Like, they don't, like, look at younger generations like, hey, you know what? You're taking the baton and you're going to keep going with it. Great. Good for you. They didn't do that even with their kids. Like Gen Xers. Gen Xers, like all these latchkey kids who like were basically on their own because like their parents were like, no, I'm gonna work because something. Because my employer, cares about me or some shit. Even though they don't. Sorry. Employers don't care about you. And as a result, millennial voices were drowned out. And that's one thing that kind of pisses me off about Gen Z. They blame millennials for a lot of the problems. Like, we didn't have a voice. We were drowned out by not only the boomers, but Gen Z. I mean, the Gen Xers were just so pessimistic that they didn't help. We tried. Millennials really tried, but like we had nothing to do. Like what are we gonna do? Buy shitty music? That's pretty much all we had. But I will say, at least Gen Z kids, they're voting and they're pissed. They're like, these previous generations, they haven't done shit. They haven't done anything about gun violence. They haven't done anything to take care of other Americans or the rest of the world. They haven't done anything to like try to repair the environment. Even now, when it's clear that the environment is destroyed, we're still not doing anything. And I saw something like, basically, hey, these guys, they're more left-wing than I am. And I admire that. And I really do. Like, I admire the fact that they're trying. And they're pissed. Like, you know what? Fuck these previous generations. We're going to actually do something. We're going to accomplish something. And we're going to elect people that are actually decent. And I respect them for that. But, just the fact that we have so many people in this country who still are in that mind frame of fuck everyone else because I got mine blows my mind. Like, why? Like, you got yours. Okay, shouldn't you start caring about other people now? Like these billionaires. The billionaires who, like, they have more than they could possibly spend in multiple lifetimes, and they still want more. They still want tax cuts. They still want to be able to just do whatever they want. Why? You've won. You can do whatever you want. Anything you want, you can have it. You want any guitar, any kind of food, any kind of like movie prop. And I'm just naming random shit. Anything you want, you have it. You can just easily get it. You just hire someone. I want this collection of this. Here you go. I want this rare thing. Here you go. And it's not like this is a recent thing either. I mean, people used to buy mummies to unwrap them. A mummy? Like, you want to unwrap a corpse that was buried. That's what you want to do. Well, yeah, that's what they want to do because, hey, it's a cool thing to do, right? So why is it that you still want more? What is enough? But I mean, I'm at the point where I'm like, we're fucked. Human beings, we've destroyed everything. We destroyed our environment. We do nothing but take and take and take. I don't even know what to say. Like, I've actually grown pretty pessimistic and depressed about like the existential crises, I should say, that we're facing. And yeah, it seems like nothing is getting better. And now I'm hoping that, again, Gen Z, they're on things. I give them a lot of credit for that. I mean, you do have the Nick Fuentes types who are, shitheads who, and I'm pretty sure that, most people hate him, and people like him, but then again, I mean, people still buy Kanye West music, so there's that, which fucks me up. But anyway, so I think I've ranted long enough. So I'll see you guys next time, anytime I do a video. So anyway, this is Bad 5. See you next time.